Hi guys, Queen of Flannel here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. So, we are going to try something new this week. These are Dr. P.H. Martin Hydrus liquid watercolors. This is that one. I got this off of Amazon. I've seen a few other people use these and mess around with them, and I thought they look fun, and it's always nice to try new things and experiment. I have not done anything with these. I have not swatched them. I have not opened any of the bottles. We're just gonna go for it and see what happens. So, the book I have picked, I know a few of you are probably going to be upset with me because I said I wasn't gonna do anything else in this book because a few people had asked about doing a buddy color with me and they're waiting for their books. I'm sorry, you guys. This was the only thing that jumped out at me when I was looking through my books that I thought would be nice for trying these out, because it just lends itself to being messy, and I feel like you can't really screw up. It just, I mean, I'm sure you could, but it's just one of those things, like, I don't know what it is. I just really like this book, and it is one of the few books that I have where I feel like if I try something new and it doesn't go to plan, that it's not going to look completely, like, out of place and horrible. So, we're going to work on this image from Karolina Kubikowska's On the Other Side of the Dream. I'm going to pluck a few colors out of here. We're going to start with the bird. We'll see how far we get. Do I have a brown? I feel like I need a brown in here for this. Yeah, let's go with this for right now. We've got a brown. Let's do it. Let's see how this goes. So, we're going to start out with just a few little drops of this, because from what I've seen, it's pretty highly concentrated. So we're just gonna do a few drops. And I'm starting out with, let's see, this is Gamboge Brilliant Cad Red and some deep red rose. That's very pink. And this is just a big plastic palette that I'm pretty sure I got at Michael's. And I'm going to use one of my Arteza water brushes today. My paint puck is currently being washed. You know what? Let's just go with that. I like that. So I just mixed the Gamboge and the Cad Red to get this nice orange color. And this is going to be my base color. And I'm going to try and do this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, this book really likes water mediums. I mean, they don't feel too much different than regular watercolors. I do kind of want to try, like, just a straight up um application of just the watercolor without, or just the liquid without a whole bunch of like extra water on it. I just want to see like how vibrant we can get these. And I did find out this morning that my other three Karolina books are in the packing process, so that's exciting because I did go um on her website a couple weeks ago and order the other three books that I don't have because I enjoy her books that much that I wanted all of them. Let's go in with just a little. Ooh, that is pretty. Pretty concentrated there. Ooh. Woo! I like it though. Some of this on this like undercarriage here. They mix pretty easily too in terms of like blending. And I probably will add some of the brown in here as well. Let's pick up a touch of that. Ooh, that's So I do want him to be a little lighter on the top. Obviously down here would be more in shadowed, especially, you know, underneath his wing. Just trying to get a nice tone up here before I start really working on. I also want to make sure, although this one's not a huge, I just want to make sure that it wasn't like bleeding through the back, but the other side of this page is like a little words. It's a little like note from Karolina about book. But yeah, these seem pretty pretty simple to use. Although I guess if, you know, you're relatively experienced with watercolor techniques in general, it's really not a whole lot different. I guess just the suspension of it, instead of being like a pasty tube, it's just in a liquid format. I think these would be really nice for like illustration, which I've been working on in my free time, that maybe at some point when I feel a little bit more confident in my skills, I will bring to the channel. But I've been doing like architecture and landscapes mainly with Copics, but I could see these lending themselves to. I feel like this is somewhere between watercolor and ink would be the best way that I could describe how they feel. Okay, let me just get a little bit of the brown. This is Venetian brown. Not too worried about the red getting mixed in there. If anything, that will kind of make it tonally similar to what I've already got on here. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have ever used this product before. It's the Dr. P.H. Martin's Hydrus liquid watercolors. And they do seem to lift pretty nicely on this paper, so that's a plus. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a background on this. If I do, it'll probably be off camera. But I don't know yet. Just focusing on our little buddy here. Let's little bit down in here. And a little too much water. And I'm going to use the same brown, this Venetian brown, for the nest down here. I can't tell if that's a feather or if it's... All right, we'll leave that for right now. Yeah, these are fun. I am definitely consider getting the rest of them. I think there's like 36 colors or something like that, and this is set 1, so it's like the basics. But it's got a nice assortment of colors, and they seem to mix pretty well together, so you can make whatever color you need. And there's a white in here too. I'm kind of curious about that one. I mean, I don't ever use white when I watercolor. If I need to change the value of a color, I just adjust my water to pigment ratio. And if I want like a stark white highlight, I'll usually go in at the end with either a gel pen, or I have the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, which I will occasionally bust out. I'm gonna get this a little darker down here at the bottom where it would be more in shade, and where she's got the darker lines. I need to reorganize my desk and how I have things set up, because I don't really have a lot of space. And so I've got my palette at the top so that I can reach it. I could move it off to the side, but it's hard to get everything in so that you guys can see the palette as well as the image, and also so that I close enough to be able to work on it without my arm hanging off the side of my desk. But I don't know, when I come back from my work trip next year, I might look at redoing my setup, and maybe eventually getting to a point where I use my big camera. I just don't have the space on my desk for the rig for the DSLR, but it would be nice to be able to move away from using that, or from using my phone to using the big expensive camera that I go through photography spurts, and I'll bust it out, and if we go somewhere I'll take pictures and whatnot, but it definitely deserves more love than it's currently getting. I have quite a few creative pursuits. And I am also the type of person that when I get in a new hobby, I have to buy all of the things. It's like there's something in my brain that just says, oh, well, what if you need this? Like what you might as well just buy it. What if you need it? Or what if you don't buy it now and then you need it later and it's not available anymore? I hear the mail truck outside, and that means new Copics, amongst other things. I have been collecting Copics, and while I do not plan to use them, you know, primarily in tutorials and things like that on the channel, especially if I'm doing coloring, you know, I want to try and keep it to things that I feel more people in the adult coloring community you know, use. And obviously Copics are not cheap, but I am collecting them. I have been doing some illustrative work with them, and so down the road they will probably make some appearances on the channel. But I found someone on eBay who sells them in like various like lot sizes. And so I bought a small lot at first because I wanted to make sure, you know, that they were a reputable seller, and she was. So I bought a bigger lot. So I have 25 Copics that I'm fairly certain are out in my mailbox right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. Which means I get to bust those out and swatch them when I am done recording this video. I want to try and get back some like texture in here and see how this does. And you can re-wet this. So if you have to walk away from your palette in your project, you can bring it back to life and reuse it if it dries on your palette, which is nice. I missed a feather underneath here. Go back and put that in. And a little strip under her belly. That's part of her too, so. I think this is a feather right here. We're just gonna roll with it, so we're gonna color it like a feather. We might as well just do these two. Just make them look like our mama bird. let's see how that dries. Some branches down here. I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, is this feather, or this looks like a feather over here? This looks like a leaf. All right. Well, I don't have them green out, so we'll hold off on that for right now. That is very vibrant. A little more orange in there. Boy. So I don't know what color I'm going to do these eggs. Pondering. Okay, so there's where we're at for right now. All right, let's see. Give that a minute. Let's get out some of the Hansa yellow light. A little droplet of that in my palette. I don't have a whole lot. I have an idea. And let's do another little like droplet or two of the Venetian brown. Bring out some yellow green. Now let's do some of the Venetian brown and the Hansa yellow. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that's not too bad. That's egg-like. We'll see what they look like when they dry. And I think I don't know if I'll do a full background on this, but what I might do is take some of the blue and just do around the edges. Oh, rip. Oh, that's okay. Because it's a very warm palette right now, and I feel like it needs something to balance it out. So we're gonna do this leaf down here with the phthalo green, and then a little bit on the branches. You know what? Let's add a little bit of this into her beak. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Hansa yellow, and I'm just off camera over here, just putting a little bit on my palette, and pick up a little bit of the phthalo green, and that's a little too vibrant. Okay, so I just took a little bit of the Venetian red, just a tiny or Venetian brown, just a tiny little bit, because the phthalo green Hansa yellow mixture was a little too vibrant for what I'm going for, and it kind of toned it down a little bit. I was going for like an olive green. Then I've got these little guys over here. Okay, let me see what I've got for is phthalo blue. And I am gonna add a bit of the white to this. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of like double this on. I don't want it to be like full on. I'm just kind of like stippling this in here because I want to retain a lot of the white. And I want to keep it fairly well, like, contained to this area around the bird in the branch. I'm not going to do the whole page. I just felt like it needed a little like color contrast here with all of the browns and oranges and reds and whatnot. Ellie says hi. I don't know if you can hear her in the background, but she is outside of my office, clearly feeling some kind of way about. There. I think that is I think that's it. I think I am pretty pleased with the way this turned out for using a brand new supply that I have never used, haven't even swatched yet. These were a lot of fun. I will definitely be using more of these in the future, especially in my Karolina books. I just feel like these lend themselves to that type of media. So if you were ever interested in the Dr. P.H. Martin's Hydrus liquid watercolors, they are they're neat. And I would recommend, if you wanted to try it, maybe just picking up a few colors just to test it out before committing to the big wheel that I showed at the beginning. But they're a lot of fun if you like watercoloring. Definitely check them out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate it. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I post additional content, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.